Well, I think anybody who didn't have some kind of fairly strong model of what is going on would be scared to death. I mean, there is a sense of everything simply flying apart. I mean, we don't know what it will be. World economic crash, Ebola outbreak, asteroid strike, climate change, but it just begins to multiply to the point where you get the feeling we may not know what's coming, but God, something must be coming. So 1,000 years is reaching its culmination, and inevitably this civilization will be divided at this millennium. There will be the first millennium of industrial, post-medieval, so forth and so on, and then whatever comes after. Even the most rational among us can hardly fail to notice that we have backed ourselves into one hell of a position. And how are we going to get through this and maintain our human dignity? I mean, are we going to allow millions, billions of people to slip into starvation and disease? Are we going to practice triage on entire sectors of the planet and withdraw resources so that the white industrial democracies can ride through the waves of chaos? I mean, it's very important that we not only preserve the human genome, it's important that we preserve human values through all of this. And I think realizing that we are caught in a process of metamorphosis and transformation, not of our responsibility, is the basis for the attitudes of confidence and anticipation that will be necessary and that will allow us to be exemplars for the society. Something so extraordinary is happening on this planet. I mean, you know, for hundreds of millions of years, biology flowed across the surface and species advanced and retreated and sensory organs were refined and redefined and so forth and so on. But about 35, 50,000 years ago, language broke loose. And language is the sheer will of information itself to transform itself. I mean, our medium is meat, but we are made of information, you know, and that information could be fed into a computer, crystallized into a virus. What we are is a long message that is being typed out in proteins by thousands of ribosomes, coordinated over time. We are sort of like a phonograph record. And when you're young, you know, certain enzyme systems, certain genes are turned on. And then you pass into midlife, other genes are turned on, certain genes are turned off. It's like a melody, theme and variation being brought back, the theme being enriched and worked, and then finally the whole thing builds to a crescendo, and then one by one the genes are turned off and the audience tugs on its overcoats and cabs are hailed and people go home for the evening. But that's what you are. You're a story, a piece of code being run in the great computer of the world. But nothing lasts, you know, not your friends, not your enemies, nothing lasts, and we deny this, and yet that's the great psychedelic truth. And if you can face it in every moment and live it, you will have a very, very complete experience of existence. You will ride the Tao toward the concrescence and be able to live in the light of its anticipation. And this, I believe, makes for a healthy life full of lots of laughs.